Welcome to another YouTube video. So if you're a cyclist who's been riding for a couple years, like me, you've probably accumulated quite a few bibs over the course of your lifetime. So yeah, every year you pretty much have to buy a pair of bibs, maybe two depending on how much you ride. And this year I've tried to do something a bit different. So I'm gonna be trying out these bibs that I got off AliExpress. So let's take a look at these and see how good they are. The bibs in question are the Spexcel 2024 Men's Core Bib Shorts version 4.0, and I picked them up on AliExpress for just under $40. When I first got them, they seemed pretty decent at first. The chamois felt like it was going to be comfortable, although there was a small thread that was loose in kind of the leg area, which was a bit disappointing on a new pair of bibs, but you know, it's $50, so you can't really complain, I guess. I had a 4-hour endurance ride planned out and it was raining, so I had to ride indoors, and I figured this is kind of the perfect place to test these bibs because a long endurance ride and also indoors, if they're uncomfy, they're really going to show it in this situation. And unfortunately, the ride didn't end up going that well. So the bibs themselves felt reasonably comfortable, but after an hour and a half, the shoulder straps kind of were chafing against my nipples, and to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore, and I actually had to take them off and change. Granted, I hadn't washed the bibs yet, so they were just straight from the factory. So I decided I'd put them in the wash and kind of like break them in a bit and then try again the next day and see how it went. And this is my thoughts.
All right, so I'm just cooling down here. I've done 2.5 hours of intervals on the trainer tonight. Not the 4-hour epic I planned on the weekend. But I've been wearing the bibs after putting them through the laundry, and no nipple issues this time, and they've been quite comfy. So yeah, it must have been a one-off thing there.
So I've been riding a decent amount of time now and have had the chance to try out quite a few bibs. So just to name what I have tried, it's been ASOS, Pas Normal, Castelli No Pins, Louis Garneau, BioRacer, and Perlizumi. So hopefully I didn't forget anything there. But yeah, so I've tried a lot and I have a general idea of what bibs are out there. So how do these stack up? So the chafing issue seemed to have just been a one-off thing kind of on my first ride, but I will say the straps are kind of the weak point on these bibs. So the back material of the strap is quite comfy, but the front is where it gets let down. It's made out of a bit of a harder material, and I just wish that they made this material a bit more comfy, and then this bib would have been so good. When it comes to the chamois is perfectly fine. I'd say that the best chamois I've ever ridden is the ASOS chamois, and then everybody else is kind of fighting for second. And this chamois, I would kind of lump in that zone. It's maybe towards the top of the pack even, but it's not an ASOS bib, but also not the worst either. One thing that I do really like about these bibs though is the leg grippers. So they have a really good leg gripping surface, and I don't find that the legs ride up at all. And I can't say the same for most of the bibs that I have. Then in terms of fit, I'm 183 centimeters and around 68 kilos, and I got a size medium. I think I could have gone to a size large because the mediums are definitely tight. And in normal sizing, I'm typically like a small to medium. So I would get a small as a race fit and then maybe a medium if I was looking for more of a leisure fit. This is a YouTube video, not a movie, so I don't need any continuity. I've completely rearranged my room and changed. It's obviously a completely different day now. But yeah, this brings us to the final question. Do we need these bibs and should you buy them? So long story short, yes, I think these bibs are actually good and they're good value for your money. They're pretty much on par with most of my other bibs. Like the straps are a bit less comfy than some bibs, but the actual chamois itself is more comfy than some of my other bibs. So it's kind of like net neutral. The one exception being my ASOS bibs. So those are my favorite pair of bibs that I have. So these won't be replacing the ASOS bibs. If I'm going on like a long 5-6 hour ride in the summer, I'm definitely going to be reaching for the ASOS over these. But that's not to say that these are a bad product. In fact, they're actually, they serve a very specific purpose for me. So these are the perfect bibs to run on like kind of a 2 to 3 hour ride after work. And the reason why I would run these over like something like my ASOS bibs is because like they're perfectly comfortable to ride for that amount of time. And like why put the wear and tear on those super expensive ASOS bibs when I can instead have like a pretty much equal experience and just be putting wear onto a pair of bibs that cost 50 bucks. So yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Would you buy the Spexcel bibs? They have full kits out, and the kit looks pretty decent, like somewhat modern, maybe a bit mappy looking for some people's taste, but yeah, it looks pretty decent. Also, some of you may notice there's a new bike in the background, so stay tuned. A review will come out of that at some point. Maybe not for a couple months, because I want to wait for the weather to get a bit nicer and get some good rides on it before I talk about it at all. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.